Right now, as you're watching this, there are thousands of SUVs sitting on dealer lots across the country that nobody's looking at. And I don't mean the ones nobody should be looking at. I'm talking about genuinely excellent vehicles that the market just left behind. Some of them are brand new, sitting there with $6,000, $8,000, $10,000 off sticker. Some are barely 2 years old and have already lost 40% of their value. And a couple of them are honestly better than the SUVs people are paying full price for right now. So here are 5 SUVs that are rotting on dealer lots in 2026, and why you should probably buy one before everybody else figures this out. Number 5, the Buick Envision Avenir. Yeah, Buick. I know. And that reaction, that little eye roll you just did, is exactly why these things are collecting dust on lots. Nobody under 50 walks into a Buick dealership on purpose. There's no influencer posting their Envision Avenir on Instagram. And that's a shame because this is legitimately one of the nicest compact luxury SUVs you can buy right now, and dealers are practically begging people to take them. The 2024 and 2025 Envision has been sitting on dealer lots for an average of about 85 days. The national average for SUVs is around 40. That's double. And because of that, dealers are slashing anywhere from $4,000 to $6,000 off MSRP just to move inventory. So a vehicle that stickers at $44,000 is landing in the mid to high 30s. And at that price, you're getting a quieter, smoother ride than a Lexus NX for about $8,000 less. An owner in Michigan picked up his 2024 Envision Avenir for $37,000 out the door, $6,000 off sticker, negotiated in about 20 minutes because the dealer had 9 of them on the lot. He carries full coverage through State Farm at $178 a month, which is actually less than what his buddy pays for a Honda CR-V in the same zip code. First service at the Buick dealership was $89, and he says the biggest surprise is that nobody knows what it is. People in parking lots ask him if it's a BMW. That's your signal. When the badge is the only thing holding a car back, you're looking at a deal. Number 4, the Volkswagen Atlas. The Atlas has a problem, and the problem is that nobody on YouTube is excited about it. It doesn't make horsepower content. It doesn't have a sport mode that matters. It's a 3-row family SUV that's big, practical, and, honestly, kinda boring. And boring doesn't sell on the internet, but you know what boring does? It sits on a dealer lot for 60 to 90 days until the dealer gets desperate enough to knock $5,000 off the window sticker just to clear space for the next allocation. The 2024 Atlas SE with the 2.0 turbo 4-cylinder is coming in around $32,000 to $34,000 right now. And for that money, you're getting more passenger space than a Toyota Highlander and more cargo room than a Chevy Traverse. 2 SUVs that people are paying full MSRP for without blinking. An owner in North Carolina with 3 kids under 10 says the Atlas is the first SUV where everyone in the back seat stops complaining. He financed his through his credit union at 5.8% APR for 60 months. Payment comes to about $540 a month. Insurance through Geco in Raleigh runs him $152 a month. And after 18 months, his only unscheduled maintenance was a 12-volt battery that he replaced himself in the AutoZone parking lot for $144. Is it thrilling? No. Does it do the one thing a family SUV is supposed to do? Carry your whole family in comfort for less money than almost anything else in the segment? Yeah, it absolutely does. And if your priority list starts with space and value instead of 0 to 60, this is your car. Number 3, the Mazda CX-90. This one stings a little because the CX-90 was supposed to be Mazda's big move into the premium space. And then the 2024 launch happened. Software glitches, infotainment screens freezing, a couple of recalls that made the automotive press pile on. The internet did what the internet does, and suddenly a genuinely excellent SUV had a reputation problem that it didn't entirely deserve. Here's what actually happened since then. Mazda pushed software updates through mid-2024. The 2025 model came out clean, and most of those early issues have been resolved. But the perception stuck, and that means the CX-90, especially the inline-6 turbo, is sitting on lots with discounts that Mazda almost never offers. We're talking $5,000 to $8,000 off on leftover 2024 models and $3,000 to $5,000 off on 2025s. For Mazda, that's unheard of, And the inline-6 turbo in this thing deserves better. 280 horsepower on regular gas, 340 on premium. That's more power than a base Lexus TX and more than a base BMW X5. And the interior quality is something owners on the Mazda forums keep comparing to the Genesis GV80, which is the next car on this list. That comparison is not crazy. An owner in Colorado Springs traded in his Lexus RX for a CX-90 Turbo S Premium Plus and says it's a better driving experience in every measurable way. He picked it up for $46,000, $7,000 below MSRP. Full coverage through Progressive runs him $205 a month, and after 12 months, his total maintenance cost was 2 oil changes at the Mazda dealer for $87 each. $174 of maintenance in a year on an SUV with 340 horsepower. The CX-90 doesn't have a quality problem. It has a first impression problem, and first impressions fade. Deals like this don't. Number 2, the Genesis GV80. If you've been paying any attention to the SUV market, you already know this one should be here. The Genesis GV80 competes directly with the BMW X5, the Mercedes-Benz GLE, and the Lexus RX, and it's sitting on dealer lots for over 100 days on average. 100 days. In a market where a Toyota RAV4 sells in under 2 weeks. The reason is simple and kind of frustrating. Genesis is a Hyundai sub-brand, and most luxury buyers won't cross that psychological line. They'll happily write a check for $65,000 on a BMW X5 and never look twice at the GV80 sitting across the street for $52,000 with more features, a longer warranty, and a quieter cabin. And the deals right now are honestly kind of absurd. The 2025 GV80 3.5T, that's the twin-turbo V6, 375 horsepower, is moving with $8,000 to $12,000 off MSRP depending on the market. An owner in Houston walked out of the Genesis dealership with a fully loaded 3.5T Advanced Plus for $58,000, which was $13,000 below sticker. He financed through Hyundai Capital at 4.9% APR for 72 months. Payment comes to about $860 a month. Full coverage through Allstate runs him $222 a month in Texas, which he says is actually cheaper than what he was quoted on a GLE 350 at the Mercedes dealer down the road. And here's the part that doesn't get enough attention. The GV80 comes with a 5-year, 60,000-mile bumper-to-bumper warranty and 10 years on the powertrain. The BMW X5 gives you 4 years and 50,000 miles. The Mercedes GLE, same thing. The Genesis literally gives you more car, more warranty, and more standard equipment for less money. The only thing you give up is the badge on the hood. If you can live without the badge, this might be the single best value in the luxury SUV market right now. And if you're curious about how it actually holds up over time, drop that in the comments. I'm thinking about doing a deep dive. Number 1, the Lincoln Aviator, and this is the one that made me want to make this video. The Lincoln Aviator is, in my opinion, one of the most underappreciated luxury SUVs of the last decade. And the depreciation numbers right now are almost hard to believe. We're talking about a vehicle with a 3-liter twin-turbo V6 making 400 horsepower, an interior that Lincoln designed to go head-to-head with the Germans and, in a lot of ways, actually beat them. Real wood, real leather, a 28-speaker Revel audio system that audiophiles on the Lincoln forums consistently call one of the best factory systems in any vehicle at any price. The suspension is genuinely excellent, and almost nobody is buying them. Here's the number that matters. A 2023 Lincoln Aviator Reserve with 25,000 miles, clean Carfax, one owner loaded, is selling for about $34,000 to $38,000 right now. That same vehicle had a window sticker north of $67,000 when it was new. That's roughly a 40% depreciation hit in about 2.5 years. And that kind of drop is a disaster for the first owner, but it's an absolute gift for the second one. An owner in Virginia bought his 2023 Aviator Reserve through CarMax for $36,000, 22,000 miles, clean Carfax, full service history. He tracked every dollar for his first year of ownership. Oil changes at an independent shop ran him $94 each every 5,000 miles. He orders his Motorcraft filters through Rock Auto and brings them to his guy. Full coverage through Progressive in Northern Virginia comes to $248 a month. His biggest repair was a blend door actuator. The Lincoln dealership quoted him $1,100, and he found an independent shop through an aviator owner forum that did the same job for $420. Same motorcraft part, same fix. $680 of difference, and the only thing that changed was the sign on the building. At the end of 12 months, his total cost of ownership, including insurance, every oil change, that blend door repair, and his car payment on a 48-month loan through Navy Federal at 5.4% came to about $14,000 for the year. His neighbor bought a new Toyota Grand Highlander for $48,000. Their monthly payments are within $60 of each other, and every single time they park next to each other, the Lincoln looks like it costs twice as much, because 2.5 years ago, it did. That's the Lincoln Aviator, a $67,000 luxury SUV that you can buy right now for $36,000, with a twin-turbo V6 making 400 horsepower, an interior that embarrasses most of its German competition, and running costs that are completely manageable if you do one thing: stay away from the Lincoln dealership for anything that isn't covered under warranty. Go drive one before the rest of the internet figures this out. If any of these caught your attention, drop the one you'd actually buy in the comments. I'm genuinely curious which one surprised you the most. And if you know someone who's SUV shopping right now and overpaying for something with a fancier badge, send them this video. It might save them 10 grand. I'll see you in the next one.